everyone, and welcome to One Teacher, One Scientist chat room. Our guest today is a cybersecurity expert, Rakshit Tandon. Welcome, Rakshit, to One Teacher, One Scientist.
Thank you so much, Namaskar.
Today, there is a very pertinent issue that everybody is grappling with, and that is cybersecurity. So we want to understand and get your insights on cybersecurity and cyber safety around children. It is so important, today everybody is studying online. Schools have gone online because of this pandemic. And I'm sure there must be many cyber safety issues that children are getting exposed to. What is your take on it?
Thank you so much, Namaskar, for inviting me to this wonderful platform. Yes, indeed, children, teachers, parents, everybody needs to understand the risks around the internet and the threats around internet, and especially talking about children and school. Yes, in the last couple of months, we have seen a lot of issues coming up and cropping up, and as complaints coming in from schools where either the online classroom getting vandalized by some unknown anonymous person, or a student trying to enter with the wrong name, or trying to unmute and speak some obscene words, or spread some obscene images or pictures. So these issues have come up. And apart from that, children itself, they have been prone to a lot of cyberbullying online. Cyber safety, I think, Vaishali, has to be a culture now. It cannot be taken as a subject or a 1 hour discussion or a cyber expert session. But we now have to bring it, because in this new normal, technology is going to be there. It's going to play a major role. And even if we see the new education policy, the way we have seen programming being brought in with children at a very young age, that's a very good step. So artificial intelligence, machine learning, cybersecurity, these are going to be the key, I would say, focus areas and domains. And to understand that, I think cyber safety has to be now taken up as a culture for parents. They also need to protect their digital identities. Children need to protect their digital identities. They have to understand two key words, security and privacy, before they consume any application. And as a parent and as an educator, we should teach children responsibility. That once they get a device in their hands, they have to be responsible. And two very important things which has to be brought in is, one is your digital footprint. How do you make your digital footprint? They have to be good digital footprint. And second, to be a good digital citizen. So when you start promoting these two, then these issues, what we are getting of bullying. Talking about children, I have seen teachers being victim of online bullying.
Yes,
I get so many complaints where they have made anonymous pages called memes or confessions, and they are taking screenshots of teachers, comparing them with different characters, writing some very bad words. And obviously, when a teacher goes through that content, it is harassing, it is traumatizing, it is like defaming somebody. So we need to create that thin line to be clarified to the child that what is right and what is wrong online. And you cannot play with your digital footprint. So you've seen in the past also that during the lockdown, there was a very grave issue which happened in Delhi NCR. Some boys' locker room chats were revealed. And so I don't want to get into detail of that, but yes, for parents, children and teachers, it's a very important takeaway that within 18 hours, all the 20 members, anonymous, whatever they were, of the group were identified by the Delhi Cyber Cell. They were apprehended and they were questioned for investigation. So children who think that I can go and make an account with any name and do anything, full stop. Think before you post. Think before you post, because your digital footprint cannot be removed. Once you create that, it is forever.
Yeah, I mean, you've really spoken about digital footprints, and that is such a serious topic that children need to understand how they create a positive digital impact. Like, it is so very important for them to realize and take responsibility of what they are speaking online. And how do you think schools can actually help children learn this? I mean, as you're saying, it has to develop into a culture. So, culturally, children should be taught this or made aware of their actions and their words right from the beginning. So, when do you think is a
So,
good age to start that?
so I think we start from kindergarten, because now today you are having a device or a technology given to a very young age. And if you remember our school days, we had to have one subject called moral science.
Yes,
And it was one of the best periods we used to like. There were some beautiful stories and good takeaways. Even the movies and the entertainment we used to watch always had a key message
correct.
after that. So I think we have to bring those values back, and I call it the digital wellness. I call it the cyber hygiene now. So and now the schools have to take this up seriously, because they have also faced it. I would congratulate all our teachers and educators that the education never stopped during the corona times, and they should also be given the title of Corona Warriors for, and because for them they were teaching on a whiteboard and a marker and a pen, and suddenly they were given this technology to go and impart, and they were so creative. They brought it in and they delivered it so well. So, but then they have also realized that okay, now this is going to be there. And now, even after, I think when this corona and the virus is over and we get back to a normal school, the virtual learning will be a part of the blend. It will be there. It will be a blended learning. It
Correct.
will be a blended learning.
Yeah, I was going to come to that. Like post corona, the virtual world will still remain. And
Yes.
how do you see a child and a teacher as two pillars or two key players in the cyber world?
So, Shali, I think that's what I said. It would be a blended form of learning now after this lockdown. And the way you have introduced technology to education now, and the way they taken the takeaway from the children, there are both positives and negatives. But if you
Correct.
look at the positive side, because children just forget the corona thing and go back. Before corona, you go to any school. I have been to what, around 15,000 schools in the country delivering talks on cyber safety. And at that time, there was no virtual learning, there was real learning. And the complaints of parents and children was, and the teachers was screen time. That he's always on games, he's always on Instagram, he's on social media, phone to wo chhota hi nahi hai. So all these complaints were there before the COVID-19. But now, parents are saying, no, you have to wake up and go online and attend your class. Here, you take a phone. So I think that has been a good lesson now for everyone, and it has also taught children the responsibility, the good part of internet. That how today morning I was a chief guest in one of the academies in Kolkata, in Vaishali. They have launched an online e-fest, and it was so good to see that children on Zoom were playing the band to open up the ceremony, and children were dancing in their Zoom windows, and they prepared a group dance.
So
So,
nice.
so that's where our children are so creative, and that's where I think technology plays a wonderful role, and it is going to be there. So, digital wellness, cyber hygiene, and digital citizenship should be the key pillars for every school. And as a parent, I need to teach responsibility to my child when I give him a gadget.
Yes.
So, when I used to give him a car to drive with the license and all, I used to tell him that there are dangers on the road, you have to be alert, speed control, speed belt, and don't drink and drive, and don't stop in an anonymous place like that. All these were the key when you used to drive on a highway. Similarly, when now my child is going to drive on internet highway, he needs to be alert. He needs to be alert of all the scams which are happening, the viruses, the fraud. He should be able to identify whether the mail coming is genuine or not, whether I'm giving the right password to the right. So security is going to be a key factor. And that is why I said in the beginning that cyber security should not be taken up as a subject now. It has to be a part of the culture because everything is online now. In the
Yeah.
new normal, everything is online.
Yeah. How do they identify, okay, this is not the right um, area for me to venture? When a small child is sitting with a gadget, and if the child is you can say unattended, then the child can have a sort of these sites can be like a trap where a child might just be able to click something and then he goes on a different tangent totally. How does a small child, small I mean like a primary school child up to grade 5, how does a child learn to discern between the right and wrong as far as cyberspace goes?
So when you teach them the basics of internet, you tell them about the domain name, the spelling, the protocols, like a secured website always open with HTTPS, it has a lock. Then if it is rakshit.tandon.com, that is a genuine website. But if it is rakshit.tandon.com, it is a fake website, the spelling is wrong. So these basic things are always taught. But yes, to child safety, when you give a device to a primary child, I would always advise to have parental controls on that. So suppose I am giving an Android device to my child, I will put my Gmail ID as a Play Store ID on the device so that I have the control of what app to be downloaded and what not to be downloaded. Then there are tools like Google offers you a very important tool called Google Family Link. Now with this tool, I can put it on the child device and on the parent device. So even if I'm out and my child is under the care of some nanny or someone, so I know sitting at my office what is my child trying to browse, whether it is appropriate for him or not, and I have the control to lock it. So I can lock certain websites and applications on the device. So this is how we give child protection. So there are tools available with technology. We call it the parental control tool. And secondly, internet should be discussed with the parents now. So when child is, because I was shocked, I was doing a webinar recently and a parent asked me a question. A 14-year-old was consuming a dating app.
Oh my God.
And that was really shocking because a 14-year-old trying to go on a dating app. So it can always come with education only. And you will not be surprised to hear that a lot of children play a very popular game called PUBG.
Okay.
Now, PUBG, if you go on your phone right now and check the Play Store, the age rating is 17 plus. Now, the company itself is saying 17 plus. Then how can a 11 or a 12-year-old child consume that game? So this is where I think parenting plays a role and cyber wellness plays a role, that I am responsible. I am not going to consume an application which is not appropriate for my age. So, for example, Instagram, Facebook, all these social media sites, they have very strict rules that only children above 13 should be allowed.
Yeah,
right?
They do.
So yes, so like in real life, you will not give a 13-year-old child to go and drive a car on the road. Or you will not give a 13-year-old access to go travel across the country and do shopping and come back. So as a parent, I protect my child in the real world. Similarly, I have to protect my child in the virtual world. I have to educate him that, okay, listen, you are not 17 plus, so you cannot consume this game. And that is where parenting plays a role.
Right. So I think somewhere parents and teachers have a bigger responsibility now that children are online. And, like how we used to control the television earlier.
Right.
When the television came, our parents used to control as to what is it that we are watching. And there used to be child locks everywhere. What was
child
not
locks, there was a time control. Okay, television time, 4 to 5. That's it. Strict.
Yeah, true.
So I think that can help. That is the same thing we expect with technology today. And especially with the over-the-top applications of entertainment, one has to draw a very strict line with applications like Amazon and Netflix, where all kind of content is available. So they simply put one age rating warning there, 18 plus or something, but then anybody can play and stream anything. And I think that is where we need to be very careful.
Yeah, so somewhere I think a key role is of a parent, because the child is at home, and I think maximum gadgetry is as it is used at home. So because schools still have stringent rules as to not to use a gadget and during classrooms and things, but I think it's a lot depends on the parents, how they are exercising their parental responsibility when it comes to cyber security. So if it was one key message that you want to give to parents and teachers as far as cyberbullying is concerned, for children, how to protect children from cyberbullying, because we can kind of navigate children better, we can help them become more responsible of what they are doing, but sometimes children do become victims of cyberbullying. They do get trapped into a website or into a domain space where they are bullied. So in such a situation, what should the child do?
So, Vaishali, first, empowerment is very important. The digital empowerment to handle such issues. Like, there is a complete response mechanism being drafted by all the top vendors which we are consuming these days, whether it's Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp. They have a reporting mechanism which has to be taught to the individual. Second, if somebody is a victim of a bully, then he needs attention, he needs care. He needs to be brought out. It should not be taken lightly. So suppose I'm a child and I'm complaining somebody is body shaming me. For you, it might be a very small thing. Okay, he's comparing you with a hippopotamus and putting it on Instagram. But now so many people are liking it, tagging it, and it's kind of body shaming for that child. So we need to develop cyber resilience also with children. I was shocked to see one question asked during a webinar by a very young child. I must say it must be 11 or 13. Sir, I got only 20 likes on my picture. That means everybody hates me? And I hope you understand the question. So today, this virtual world has given them that if you are quantified by your likes and comments, and that is what. So we need to educate children about this. We need to educate about security, privacy, and response. These three things should be first educated to the bully. Especially, Government of India has made an online mechanism to report any kind of child sexual abusive material, and that can be reported anonymously. So it is cybercrime.gov.in. It's a national cybercrime reporting portal, and they have a special category for women and children. And children should know how to block the cyberbullying, how to respond, and how to come out of that problem. First is responsibility. Third, you have to be responsible. Second is respect. Third is compassion. Fourth is resilience. And fifth is integrity. So in responsibility, I will not consume an application which is not meant for my age. Respect, I will respect others on internet, so I will also get respect. Third, compassion. If somebody is in a problem, I will help that person. So I got a wrong picture of my friend. I will not start forwarding it. I will not make it viral. I will help my friend in blocking the content and reporting to the bully. That is compassion. The fourth is resilience. I have to be strong if there is something wrong. So you are a public person and you have an opinion. You put your opinion. Somebody likes your comment and somebody don't like your comment. So you have to be strong enough. You cannot become sad because somebody put a negative comment on your video. And the final is integrity. You have to be fair and honest on internet. You just can't cut copy paste from anywhere and start showing it to anybody.
Yeah.
So these 5 core values, I call them the netiquette. And if you follow these 5 core values and you know the cyber laws, so neither you will become a bully and you know how to protect the bully. So both, because see, in most of the cases in children, I have seen the bully itself is a child. So you cannot criminalize the child.
Yeah, I was going to come to that because it's like children bullying other children.
Other children, yes. It's not an outsider. There are kids. Yeah.
That becomes even more difficult because, children, I mean, it's sometimes it is out of innocence. Sometimes it is that they don't understand the repercussions of their actions, In certain cases, I feel that they don't realize what harm they've created.
Yes.
So, somewhere, I think we need to make them stronger as individuals, Do you think that makes it easier for them to navigate through cyberspace as well?
Yes, yes, so very rightly said, because you said, now children, they are the bullies themselves. They are bullying their own friends, and they do it out of a reaction. They become internet. I don't think internet or something, but they have become very impulsive. They post something in the evening, late evening, and early morning they realize that they have done something wrong. That was the reaction. But that is what I said in the beginning, that you have to be very careful about your digital footprint, what you comment and how you react. So I think we have to take care of both the people, the ones who are the victims and the ones who are actually bullying. We also have to create a rehab mechanism for them also. We always cannot criminalize them, or we cannot always punish them for what they have done. They, as you rightly said, it might be out of innocence, it might be out of a strong reaction. So, but that's the difference between real and virtual world. In real world, if I have a immediate reaction for you, it will just disseminate in the real world. It will not stay. I cannot see it. I just said something, you heard it, that's it. Nobody else know what I said. But now when I reacted the same reaction I did on internet, it is visible to all and it is there. It is going to stay. It is not going to get deleted. One comment I post on your picture is forever.
Yeah.
That is what we have to make children realize.
Right. It's not like you can erase it. So then the responsibility becomes even more. And that's when children need to realize that the impact of their actions and their words and their thoughts is much deeper and much long lasting. So somewhere I think this has to become a very important part of a child's learning, because with this digital world catching up, children need to really be very well informed as to how they are impacting the world. So it's not about sustainability in the real world, it's also about responsibility in the virtual world.
Virtual world. Rightly said. Yeah.
So great. I think that's a huge responsibility. You spoke of cyber hygiene, Rakshit, and cyber wellness. How do you see that space in terms of children and teachers?
So, Vaishali, when I come to cyber hygiene, I always talk about productive screen time and non-productive screen time. There should be a balance. We should educate children how to sit with the right posture on your device. What is the right distance from your eyes? How do you need to do an exercise with your eyes? And suppose I am doing an online session and I do almost 2 to 3 sessions in a day. I'm sitting on the device for 3 hours continuously. So every 20 minutes I take a small break for my eyes, for my hands, for my body. I sit in a proper table and a posture. The level of the laptop should be to my chest and there should be an angle. And I don't bring the device very close to my eyes like this. Children consuming games, sitting in the night, switching off the light, and just with the mobile light they are playing games, that is wrong. Then you also teach them that never use the device when it is on charging, especially a mobile device. So never play a game or do anything on your mobile when it is on charging. So these are some important parts of cyber hygiene. How to sit on a device, what is the right screen time, and how to obey that. Because see, I don't know whether you heard of this or not, but there have been many cases where children have to be rehabilitated because of gaming addiction.
Yeah.
And gaming addiction by WHO has been declared as a disorder, mental disorder. So I don't want children to reach that problem. So we can control that. As a parent, I should have a strict timing, and this all becomes a part of a healthy cyber hygiene.
Correct. Yeah. Very
and
interesting.
Digital wellness.
Yeah, the children definitely need a digital hygiene and a digital wellness program. And I think a lot needs to be done
for all, not only for children, for all. There should be a digital detox day. हम लोग को भगवान ने सिखाया या किसी ने सिखाया कि भाई एक व्रत रखना जरूरी होता है. वो व्रत आपकी पूरी बॉडी के सिस्टम के लिए उसको रिवाइटलाइज करता है. उसको तो अब मैं समझता हूँ कि आज टेक्नोलॉजी में भी वी शुड ओबे at least one weekend or one day as a detox day. Then no gadgets, no real friends, no online friends, real talking, and real singing and dancing, and a total detox from the device.
Yeah, so
So,
important. Today, we are very concerned about the health of children's eyes and the mental health when it comes to
mental health.
sitting on the internet, studying, and always consuming cyber knowledge or cyber information. So it's so
So
important for
there is
them.
so much incoming. There is so much of incoming of information. It's an information explosion actually, and you're not able to process every information. That also affects you. So I always advocate saying that you maintain social distancing. Please do maintain information distancing also.
Oh
So
yes,
every information is not correct. Just don't hurt yourself and bother yourself with a WhatsApp university message saying that Corona is doing this and COVID-19 is doing this. Take this medicine and you will become immune. So first verify. One should learn how to verify information and then you start forwarding. Otherwise, people in our country they do digital cop. So they just start spreading the information as soon as it comes. So
yeah.
information distancing is also important.
Very interesting. The term information distancing. I think it's so important today to maintain it because I think there's an overload of information.
Overload of information. Yeah.
Yeah. And I think a cyber detox should definitely help everyone. Thank you so much, Rakshit, for sharing your
Thank you. Thank
insights.
you.
And
Pleasure. It was a pleasure.
thank you. And I hope we can help more and more teachers and children and create a cyber healthy world.
Yes. 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 Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much. Thank you. Thank
Thank
you.
you.